Hey guys, this is Dennis, the founder of Think Hero.
And I'm David Griffin, your resident comic book and video game guru.
And this is our review of Neil Blomkamp's long-awaited Elysium.
Yes, long awaited. I'm definitely excited for this. After District 9, which I thought was amazing. You know, I was really curious to see what the follow-up from Neil was going to be.
Yeah, I love District 9 as well, and so everyone was really looking forward to this. Right. And I had heard before we'd seen it, you know, some lukewarm responses to it.
Right. It seems like a lot of people were expecting it to be like the next District 9 or something, and then I heard some people saying like, well, it might just be a straight-up action film. And I was kind of like, oh, you know, we'll see. Yeah.
And I have to, you know what? I have to agree with those people. I mean, it was, I liked it.
Yeah.
It was good.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but it was no District 9.
Yeah.
And I didn't, you know, I didn't get that same feeling of love for it. I really liked it, and there's some moments in it that I really liked, but it's definitely, I think story-wise and with the characters, they didn't do as much compared to this. What did you think?
Right, I definitely agree. It wasn't the same vibe as District 9. It wasn't quite as raw, you know, definitely a little more money, bigger budget, but I felt like he was just kind of making like a science fiction action movie with a little bit of heart to it, you know, more heart than we see in a lot of other movies like this, and I thought he did a great job with it. I thought he nailed it and pulled it off. So I guess I was going here not really expecting District 9, and so it didn't disappoint me at all.
Yeah, I was expecting a little more from maybe the story and the character of like Matt Damon's character Max and stuff like that. So for me, I thought it was, you know, the action definitely delivered and stuff like that, but I feel like story-wise it didn't, you know, kind of have that same arc that District 9. I wasn't expecting like another District 9 or anything like that. What I'm saying is in terms of the District 9 had this focus on this character and what he was trying to do, and I don't think they delved deep enough into Matt Damon's character. Even though Matt Damon did a great job, I think he did a great job with what he had and stuff like that. So
well, it's interesting. This movie is short. It's only about like an hour, and I'd say it's short in today's standards, with The Lone Ranger being 2.5 hours, Avengers being 2.5 hours, Lord of the Rings like 3 hours. So this movie was like an hour and 45 minutes tops. So they did have to do a lot quickly. I felt Damon was, I actually didn't mind the character development with him. I guess the surrounding characters, Jodie Foster, who was fine. I mean,
she wasn't barely in it.
Yeah, I mean, doing this proper, not English, but I don't know what she was, her accent she was trying to pull off, very proper sounding. But I mean, she was fine, but I wanted to know, like, with Copley's character, with Kruger, I wanted to know a little bit more about them. Even though I liked them on screen, I like Jodie Foster, I like the other, but it's like I wanted to know more about them. I guess this is one of the few movies I've seen this summer where I actually wanted it to be longer.
Yeah,
we talked about like we reviewed Two Guns a little bit ago, and I wanted that movie to like rear back about 20 minutes. This one I could have had an extra 20 minutes. I think
other 20 or 30 minutes to be honest. I felt like they were rushing stuff. You know, when we talked about Man of Steel with the flashbacks and how kind of rushed they were, I think the same thing happened with this movie because the flashbacks go back and try and tell the backstory of Max and the girl that he loves. Right. But it seemed a little shorthand for me.
Yeah. We have to give credit, I think, for Blomkamp and just his creation of worlds. District 9 was a cool world, going into South Africa, seeing how that was going down. Now going into Los Angeles in the year 2100 something. I mean, it was just so cool to see the world he envisioned. I was really shocked to see, and I don't think this is a spoiler, but just how much of a Spanish influence it's had. I mean, Neil Blomkamp is South African, so to see him kind of embrace this whole merger of, Mexico and Los Angeles and, Hispanic and, just American culture mixing was really cool. I wasn't expecting to see that in this movie. That was interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And the supporting cast was pretty good. I think my favorite thing about the movie was Kruger. Yeah, I like Kruger. Every time I saw him on screen, I'm like, yes.
Right, yeah.
He's badass, and just like the way he put I mean, definitely there wasn't like too much. There wasn't really any back history for Kruger. Right. But I just liked the way he portrayed him, and I thought he was a great villain. You know, like he was kind of off the wall crazy, you know, but in almost a likable way.
Right.
So. Yeah, that was my favorite part of it. It's just seeing him, seeing. There was a lot of cool visual effects. I mean,
it looked great, yeah.
Even small things of the ships just flying down and whatnot. I actually thought we'd see more of the kind of the robo cops.
Yeah, we didn't
those
see
robo police.
Right, we didn't see as much of Elysium as I thought we did. We were spending a lot more time in Los Angeles, but that was fine though. I mean, I think the movie's about Matt Damon. It's about his world. It's not about the the whole thing with the haves and the have-nots, and it was more about the have-nots in Los Angeles. So it was good though, but it looked great.
Yeah. They try to put a lot of different themes in there, not only with the have and have-nots, like universal healthcare, immigration.
Pollution. I mean, there are some strong things here where I'm like, okay, we got the Mexican-American border.
Yes.
It's like there's some really, but I mean, and maybe that's what turned some critics off, and maybe they thought maybe he was preaching a little bit on that. But I thought it was fine because I mean that's a relevant topic to.
Well, to me, it's not. I wasn't turned off by any type of preaching. I was more turned off that because they try to do so many things that they weren't able to concentrate, more on just like one thing or another, I think that was my problem, as opposed to I didn't feel like it was too preachy, maybe a few times there was a little over the top or whatever, but I just felt like they could have focused more on just like one aspect of it,
I think this shows that, Blomkamp he's a good director. He knows how to tell a story, knows how to develop a story. So it wasn't maybe a home run like District 9 for sure. I wouldn't say that. Like this isn't going to be up for probably Best Picture like District 9 was, but this still is a good movie. I can't wait to see what he does next. I know he's working on something right now, so I can't wait to see what he does next.
I think more of the problems lied with more the script than anything, than like the directing or anything like that. The world building is great, and a lot of cool things that happen. But definitely for me, it was a bit kind of a little over all the place and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. So what are your overall thoughts and grades?
I really enjoyed this. I'm definitely going to give it a B+. Again, didn't give that same impact to me for District 9. It wasn't quite as inventive, but I mean, it still was. It shows that, like I said earlier, Blomkamp he's a good director and he's passionate about sci-fi. And he wants to make. I mean, how many directors there are out there right now that are making good sci-fi movies consistently? So I'm happy that he's doing this. So I'd definitely give it a B+.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a B. I liked it. I definitely did. It definitely isn't on that same level as District 9. I think the story and script could have been like tightened. It's weird. It could have been tightened and then also at the same time expanded.
Right,
it's one of those things where it sounds weird, but it's like, they could have just focused a little more, but then also gone on depth more with the characters and maybe some of the storylines and whatnot. So I think, I think it's worth watching. Yeah. It's a lot of cool,
see it.
Cool action and visual effects.
I mean, support Blomkamp so we can get more movies, so we can do more sci-fi.
And I think maybe even the big budget kind of hurt him in a way, because I think with all that money and stuff, with all that money, you kind of have to deliver a certain type of movie.
Right, yeah. The studio's going to expect certain things. I'm glad they kept it at R, though.
Yes, I am, too.
I'm glad they kept it at R. They could have gone PG-13, but I'm glad they kept it at R.
Yeah, so I think almost in that sense, he kind of got hurt by it. But, not... It's still a good movie. Right. I still recommend seeing it. So, all right, guys. So let us know what you think. You can post your comments below on our website or on this YouTube video on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Think Hero Pro.
You can also find us on Twitter. I'm at GriffinDE.
And I'm at Think Hero. And also we have a Facebook page. That's facebook.com/ThinkHeroFans.